This is the Lazy Teacher Podcast.
Welcome back to the Lazy Teacher Podcast. My name is Brian Pulowski. This is episode 43, Adventuring Kelsey. My guest on this episode is Kelsey. She's an awesome woman that runs social media sites on Instagram, Facebook, and a website called Adventuring Kelsey. And what drew me to Kelsey is she's living and preaching the lifestyle that I talk about on this show, making positive choices for your life and for your health, and what we can all do to make our lives better in the classroom and for our children. I had a great conversation talking about health, nutrition, exercise. We talked about student teaching and overall just making excellent choices in your lifestyle as a teacher. I know you guys are really going to enjoy this episode. I had a great time talking to her. So without further ado, here is Kelsey from Adventuring Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey. It's Brian. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. I wanted to start off with, I really like your website for many reasons, aside from the fact that you're a teacher, but you're a good example of the kind of teacher that is living the lifestyle that I think teachers need to live, a healthy lifestyle, getting out there. And I like your website and that it's motivational. It's pretty cool, right? Like right on the front, you can see the free meal prepping guide. That's rad. Like you're like making it super obvious for teachers to get out there. What made you start the blog?
I just was looking for something more, and a couple of years ago, there was a conversation between my sister and I where we were just talking about, those Instagram accounts of people who are like the health and fitness Instagram accounts, basically, and they're out there and they're motivating people to be healthy and to exercise and all of that stuff. And so I literally looked at her one day, and this was at the point in my life where I was counting macros and doing all of that. And I was like, I was lifting weights every day. So I was like, why can't I be one of these people to do that also? So I just kind of randomly on a snow day night decided I was going to start one. And so I did, and I did that for a while. And it was just purely like health and fitness stuff. But I kind of got bored with it in a sense because that is stuff that I do, but there's more to my self-care routines than just that. And I've done a lot of work with kind of finding myself again after I lost myself that first year of teaching. And I really just wanted to be able to be there for the teachers who feel that, because I know I'm not the only one who went through that. I see it literally daily of teachers who are feeling that burnout within the first couple of years, and they're so focused on the work that they're neglecting why they're there, the actual passion of it. And I had signed up through actually one of these health and fitness people that I had followed on Instagram. I signed up for a course that she had offered, which was just a confidence building course. And, at the time I was like, I don't really need to build confidence because I definitely feel confident in myself, but I would like to work to grow it a little bit. So basically signed up for that. And within the first couple of weeks of the course, she had sent out an email stating that she was just going to offer a free 50-minute call. Anybody who was doing the course, if they wanted to just talk about how it was going and all that stuff. So I was like, sure, why not? Free. And through talking with her, we just kind of got on this, and she's actually now, she used to do online fitness coaching and stuff, and she's transitioned herself into a life and business, online business coach. And so through talking with her, she was like, there's literally no reason why you couldn't do this. She's like, you are one of the ideal people that, take something like this at the head and, help people through it. So I was just like, okay, sure, why not? So that's just kind of how it started. And it's grown from there. And I'm actually reminded frequently why, because I have so many coworkers who have come up to me and have been like, you don't understand how motivational your posts are to me. I love watching your lives. I love all of that. I even had someone come up to me at my sister's wedding a couple weeks ago, and she's like, I know you don't really know me, but I follow you on Instagram, and I just want to say you motivate me every day and stuff like that. And so it's just like, that's why.
No, I totally agree. It's very motivational. Okay, Kelsey, tell me, how do you start your day?
I am a total creature of habit, so I always have a green smoothie every morning with spinach and blueberries and green sprouted protein, like all that good stuff.
Really? Do you make it yourself?
I do. I actually prep everything up on Sundays, so all I have to do is just like pour a baggie of like the frozen stuff in the blender, and then I have all the dry stuff that I put just like in a little Tupperware and pour that in as well and blend it up, and we're ready to go. Takes like 5 minutes. So
yeah, it's pretty quick. Do you meal prep all your meals or just your breakfast?
I do all of them, actually, especially during the school year. During the summer, I tend to loosen up with it a little bit because it's a lot easier to make meals whenever you please in the summer. But yeah, every Sunday, it's a routine of mine. So I've actually put together a fun little freebie for teachers, too, if they want to learn more about it.
Yeah,
so,
okay, cool. Tell me about that.
I really just want to help teachers, kind of find themselves, take care of themselves, because in my first year of teaching, that was something that I really let go of and focused more on the job than myself. And so over the last couple of years, I've really found ways to take care of myself, and that's one of them. So I just figured, why not share those? There's super easy things to do, and just share those with other teachers who might need that also.
I love that you're meal prepping. I don't know a whole lot of teachers that do that. I meal prep myself on Sundays. And you're right. It really doesn't take that long. Arguably, I would say that mine takes longer than 5 minutes, but still, I don't mind it. And the time that you're saving doing it during the week is tremendous, And I'm exhausted. Gosh, if I wake up in the morning and I had to pack myself lunch for the day, I guarantee it would not be as healthy as if I was prepping it on Sunday, which I do. Unfortunately, my meal prep is always the same, but I'm good with that. Do you vary yours? Like, do you just go something different?
No, I'm like exactly the same. I'll vary up my dinners just because I can get super bored with those easily. But like, I make a smoothie for breakfast every day, and then I usually do salads for lunch and a yogurt or something. So pretty big creature of habit again. And then I'll just mix it up for dinner depending on really how much time I have on Sundays, because like prepping up my smoothies and my lunches doesn't take too much time, but dinners tend to take longer. So if I have more time, I'll do something that takes a little bit longer to cook. But I also am a huge fan of just throwing stuff in crock pot.
Yes.
And prepping up that way for the week for dinners.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you could almost throw something in the crock pot like on I would do it on a Saturday because sometimes I like to cook it for a while. But even if you started it Sunday morning, by Sunday afternoon, you pretty much got your meal pretty much done in that crock pot. And it could absolutely last you an entire week, right?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't go bad. I seriously would be lost without it. You can't eat school lunch. It makes me sick. So
going back to the health of it, you're going to eat a healthier lunch if you're prepping it ahead of time because you're planning it. You got that mindset of going, okay, I'm going to eat healthy, and you're prepping all your meals ahead of time. That's the argument that I hear from people, though, is, like, I don't want to eat the same thing every day. It's like, well, I guess if you want to take extra time, you could prep something different every day. But, what's your end goal? Are you trying to eat, nutritious, healthy, good stuff for your body that tastes good? And you can kind of overlook the fact that it's going to be the same thing every day for at least that week. I mean, I don't know. It's not that bad. It's only 5, for me, it's lunch. I only meal prep my dinners. I don't eat a dinner. I just eat like a late lunch, but I eat a big lunch, and it's the same thing I don't even change it every week. I've this whole school year, I've had the exact same lunch. Maybe I'll change the meat, but for the most part, it's the same lunch.
Well, it's so easy to throw stuff in the freezer. Obviously, salads you can't freeze, but if you're doing, a protein and a veggie or something, you could easily prep up, throw half of it in the freezer, and then alternate stuff. Monday you take the chicken and Tuesday you take the beef and all of that too. So I do think a lot of times teachers are like, or I don't have the time to do it. But like you said earlier, you're saving so much time by taking just a couple hours out of your day on Sunday as opposed to the time it takes to pack a lunch, the time it takes to make a breakfast and all of that. So
yeah, that's a really good point, Kelsey. It's kind of like, that's kind of something that I've been preaching on a lot lately, is I think teachers need to reprioritize what their goals are, because I think it's really important for us to like super focus on our classroom and the academics and what are we going to do best for the kids. But, you know, we kind of overlook ourselves, and then we treat our body like trash. We're eating like crap. We end up making excuses for, you know, our own personal health out of the sake of, you know, I'm a busy teacher. Well, I mean, be a busy teacher, but refocus yourself every once in a while and say, okay, instead of on Sunday, those papers don't necessarily have to be graded just yet. What's more important, you know, can I take an hour out of my day to make sure that my breakfast, my lunch, my whatever, so that I can just grab it? I don't kind of think about it. And I think people are going to feel a lot healthier if they did that, but, you know, can't make it.
Oh, yeah. You'll have more energy to get through your day, more energy to deal with your kids. And if you're not showing up as your best self for yourself, you can't be your best self for them. Firm believer in that.
How do you prep salad? So are you just like putting them in separate containers and then you just stack them like in the refrigerator?
Yep, basically. And like any toppings that could be on them, like if I'm putting veggies in it, I'll just throw those in the Tupperware also. But if I'm going to do, sometimes I'll take croutons or something like that, and I'll put those just in a separate baggie so they're still prepped up and I can just grab them, but they're not getting soggy sitting in there. And I even pour my dressings out ahead of time and into just little dressing size Tupperwares, and just have them stacked in the fridge too. So it's just grab and go when I pack my lunch.
So easy. It's so easy to do that.
Yep.
And it doesn't take a whole lot of time.
No, it doesn't. Like I said, one of the reasons why I put this together, because I'm like, it's so easy and it can be so fast. You just need to know what to do. I
usually make probably 3 pounds of meat. And then right now I'm on broccoli. So I've been eating a lot of broccoli. So I'll probably, You don't like broccoli?
No, I like broccoli. Broccoli doesn't like me. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. It could play. Really, Kelsey? What is it about broccoli that your body doesn't like?
It just doesn't like it. I used to eat it all the time, and I wonder if I just overdid it, and now my body is in a sense rejecting it, because I used to have it with dinner every night. When I was at one point in my life, I was super strict into counting macros and all of that stuff, and so I would do chicken breast, rice, and broccoli, and that was my dinner for months. And so I just think I overdid it, and now whenever I have some broccoli, my body says no thanks.
See, broccoli is broccoli is a super, super nutritious, it's freaking vitamin packed veggie. But your body sometimes processes it a little bit odd, and you can get a little bit gassy when you eat broccoli. You end up walking around the classroom, crop dusting the kids.
Just blame it on the kids.
Of course.
OMG.
It's never the teacher. It's never the teacher. So funny. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is I do broccoli and then some sort of meat, like a chicken, or something. And extra virgin olive oil. I'll just add this huge bowl, and so I'll cook up a lot of meat and then a lot of broccoli, and then I throw it all in this bowl, and then I throw a bunch of extra virgin olive oil on there, maybe some garlic salt to get some good salt intake. Stir that up. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. So good. So good.
Sounds good.
It is good, and I never get tired of it. But, I heard you say creature of habit. I'm like that too. I could do the same thing. If
you got bored with it, you could easily mix up the spices or, a different veggie instead of broccoli for a little bit too. Such a quick, easy fix.
Oh, totally. That's exactly what I do is if I get tired of, maybe just regular chicken, I'll just put some cool spice on it. Or if I'm feeling a little bit randy, I'll put some sugary barbecue sauce. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bomb though. Have you ever tried, I talked about this with a previous guest. Have you ever tried intermittent fasting?
I decided I was going to try it this year, but I truthfully haven't stuck to it too well because with my school schedule, it's pretty hard too because we have an early lunch at 11, but I also can't wait until 11 to eat. I'll get sick. I'm one of those people.
Okay.
So I just I try and drink my smoothie later in the morning, and then I try to have my dinner eaten by no later than 6 o'clock during the week at least. But I haven't been too strict with it, I don't know.
That's not that bad. So a 6 o'clock dinner, and then about what time do you think you're having your smoothie?
Oh, like 9:30 probably.
Kelsey, you're doing it then.
Oh, well, look at that.
That's 15 hours right there. So basically, is
that what the timeline is?
Well, it could be whatever, right? So, like what they would consider a mild fast would be 12 hours. So 12 hours of fasting where you're not taking in any calories, and then 12 hours of your feeding time, which is saying feeding time. You feel like a farm animal to say, hey, it's feeding time. But anyways, yes. So there's your feeding window, and then there's your fasting window. And mild intermittent fasting would be 12 hours. Optimal would be up to 16. So if you're really, if you're done eating at 6 and you're like having your first sip of smoothie at 9, that's putting you at 15 hours.
Right.
That's a good fasting window for sure.
Well, nice.
Look at you. You're doing it.
The thing, then.
you're doing it, and you don't even know you're doing it.
Exactly.
Now, do you exercise or work out in the mornings?
Oh, well, it just kind of depends. I kind of go through phases where it's a lot easier for me to get up in the mornings and do it than go after school. This year, I haven't really made it early enough. Truthfully, set my alarm every day to go in the morning, but it doesn't end up happening. So I've been going after school, but it's a lot easier for me to go after school on the days where there aren't meetings. And I can leave right at 3:30. Yeah.
See, that's a question that I get asked a lot is how are you finding time to go in the morning versus after school? And it's hard, like very realistically, I'm a zombie in the morning, but I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I don't want to do it, and I'm exhausted and my eyes hurt by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. But the value of me doing it is so worth it. So I'm going to keep doing it, but it's hard. The problem with me personally, if I try and go after school, it's not going to happen. I'm going to make excuses. I'm going to, this meeting ran late, or I need to get this done in the classroom, or I'm exhausted. And for some reason, it's like the exhaustion of being a teacher after school and the exhaustion of just getting up early. It seems different somehow. So I just feel like tired and I'm not functioning in the morning. I just go, okay, I could do this. Cup of black coffee. I'm good. And then within like 30 minutes, I'm feeling okay. But it doesn't get better after school. I just get more tired.
No, that's so true. Like, there's no tired like teacher tired. And unless you're a teacher, you don't understand that. It's so wild. Like, I feel like such a grandma when I'm like, I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock. And, my friends who aren't teachers can stay up until 11 or 12 and get up for work the next day. And I'm just like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it either. I don't know these people, but any teacher that I've talked to that stays up till 12 or 1, how do I say this politely? They don't look like they eat a healthy diet.
I would agree. I mean, because that goes along with taking care of yourself too, though. And, I think people are either all in on taking care of themselves or they're not.
Oh, for sure. No, I agree.
There might be some people who are like, yeah, I'm going to eat healthy, but I'm also going to stay up until, midnight. But I feel like in reality, if they truthfully value those things in their life, they're doing both. Because it's just that mindset of like, it's all taking care of yourself. And you need all of those things to be fully taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I did an episode on, I think it was like five things you can do to feel healthier in the classroom. And one of those...
that's the one I just listened to the other day.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so one of them is sleep. Sleep is...
Yes.
I mean, there's statistic after statistic. I don't... don't believe me. I'm just a second grade teacher. What do I know? Look it up online. Right. But it's... Right. There's so much evidence to show that the benefits of sleep are tremendous for everything, for your mind, for your body. I mean, sometimes, there's even arguments from doctors that will argue that sleep is better for you than a healthy diet, which seems odd, but gosh, your body does amazing things when you're in that resting state, not just like okay, I'm laying down like Netflix and chill, as they say it, but like you got to be out. Your body's got to be shut down. Gosh, if I could go to bed at 7 p.m. every night, I totally would.
That'd be awesome. I am a person where I need at least 8 hours, or to at least attempt, like be in bed at the point where it would make 8 hours when I wake up. Otherwise, I can't. You can totally tell the difference in my mood too when I'm not getting enough.
If I get 8 hours, I must have gone to bed at like 6 or 7, which never happens. Usually after work, I have my kids after work, or I have to teach again at night, or I'm training, or whatever the case is. So unfortunately, I usually don't get to bed until about 8:30 or 9, and then I get up at 4 in the morning. But
that's early.
I got to do it though. I'm not even joking, Kelsey. It's not that I don't even roll out of bed at 4 and then just split for the gym. Like, no, I'm up. And then I'm like slowly walking, turn on my coffee machine, get on my foam roller, roll out my muscles and back, and kind of stretch a little bit. I probably don't leave the house until 40 minutes after I get up. And so many people are like, well, won't you just sleep in later? I'm like, no, because then I won't I need 40 minutes to get going.
You won't get it done, yeah.
No, I need that time to, like, my brain's not even functioning. Like, I forget which light switch turns on the light in the kitchen. And
that's no good.
I was asking you if you go work out in the morning now that we can mutually agree that you're doing intermittent fasting, is doing a right, exercising in a fasted state. There's a lot of benefits to that too, as well. Like your level of alertness is amazing. Now, granted, when I wake up, I'm still in that fasted state, but once my body starts, circulating some blood, and I can focus and I can think and stuff like that. Gosh, workouts, exercise, runs, cardio, everything is just so much better. Feels so much stronger in a fasted state. So get your butt out of bed, Kelsey. Tell your dog that it's a little bit early, but you're gonna have to get up.
I'll work on it. I used to lift in the mornings. I would get up at like 5. And I was the person, like, the second I got out of bed, I had my clothes laid out, I put them on, and I went. Yeah. Because I would have to wake up earlier if I wanted to ease into my day in order to, like, actually get the workout in that I wanted and get home and get ready for work. That's what I had to do.
So what started first, the Instagram account or the website?
The Instagram account started first, just to kind of build up some people to get into the website. And so I was working on building the website while I began posting on Instagram.
Yeah, the Instagram account. Now that's all motivational stuff, right?
It's kind of like life stuff. Like I'm motivational through it, but some days I'll literally update people on what I did with my dog. I post some recipes on there sometimes, what I'm meal prepping. I have some pictures of stuff like that. So it's just kind of a handful of things.
Yeah. What caught my attention was you had a post on fear, right? So it started off, you're like, let's take a minute to talk fear. And I was like, ooh, I like this. And then you go into some details about how, like, fear started for standing up for yourself, and then you went and then moving away to college, first time in the classroom, and then you took on a leadership role. And I love how you kind of sum it all up by saying, so what, basically what all these things have in common is that you need to take action. I was like, oh my God, I have to get her on the show. So let's back up. Yeah. Start with the standing up for yourself. Was this high school that you had this fear, or what was this?
Just kind of middle school, high school. In middle school, I was definitely bullied. I was the girl who was shoved into a locker at one point, and truthfully, I didn't think I was doing anything, but I guess that's how bullying usually happens. It's to someone who can't defend themselves. They're not out to get anyone else. They're just an easy target. And so I didn't stand up for myself at that time. And through high school, I would stand up for myself towards people I was close with, but I was also super shy. And so didn't really put myself out there a lot. Even at the start of college, I was just, again, I had gone away somewhere new. I didn't know anybody. So it was kind of like, oh, I'm just going to get the lay of the land. I'm going to see what everyone else is doing. And I was never really out there experiencing who I truly was and saying, no, this is what I want to do, or no, I don't want to go do that with you, and just kind of letting people, in a sense, dictate what I was going to be up to, instead of making decisions for myself. And so over the last few years, I've gotten really good at saying no when I don't want to do something, and I'm not scared to be like, no, I don't want to do that. Whereas in the past, I would think, well, if I say no, then are they going to ask me to hang out again? Will I lose them as a friend? Just stuff like that. So, like I said, now there's no doubt if I don't want to do something, I'm going to say no.
Now, would you say that it kind of came out of an insecurity that you were afraid to say no to people?
Probably, yeah. I think especially I was scared of people, like if I said no to them, are they going to be my friend again? So yeah, I guess 100% it came from an insecurity. I would also say back in those days, I wasn't confident in myself. I had a lot of, as a female, just self-image issues that I didn't really start working through until midway through college also. I mean, I had friends, but I wasn't out there being eccentric or anything like that.
So how does that change for like your first time in the classroom? Is it like a similar kind of fear where you're, nervous for approval, or what was that about?
I think that was more so just, can I do it?
Yeah.
Because there's so many ins and outs of teaching. Like, you're not just going in there and teaching kids what 2 + 2 is. You're dealing with the behaviors. You're dealing with adult staff interactions. There's so much that goes into teaching, all the planning, and it's like, can I do this and be successful at it, or am I going to make myself look like a fool when I'm trying to run the classroom and have 18 kids just running and screaming around the room and being unable to control them and to do that? And I think, luckily for me, I, through my university, had really good experience in the classroom and was able to get into the classroom quite a bit. But it's still, when you're student teaching that first day, when you take over and it's like, okay, my cooperating teacher isn't in here with me anymore. What if something goes wrong? I don't know what to do. She's always been here to help me. It's just, again, goes back to that insecurity of, can I do it without someone else's help? And I guess if you don't allow yourself to even try, you're never going to know. And 9 times out of 10, you can do it without somebody else's help if you've, prepared for it and done all you've needed to do.
Now, how long have you been in the classroom?
This is my 4th year.
Okay. And you're in Nebraska, is that correct?
I am.
Okay. So, but in Nebraska, do you guys have to do student teaching, or is it all during your coursework?
We do student teaching. We start with what are called practicums, and they start slow, where you go twice a week for 1 or 2 hours, and that's just like your introductory one. And then you'll have a math block practicum and a lit block practicum where you're there for, I think math block was 2 days a week, half a day, and lit block was 2 days a week, full day. And then you'll do your student teaching for a whole semester.
All these years are blending together. I want to say it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was actually a master teacher for a student teacher. So that was kind of a neat little like reciprocal thing that came back. Yeah, it was really neat. Unfortunately, my student teacher, how do I put this politely? She wasn't very,
Oh no.
she wasn't very organized.
Oh yeah.
And she didn't have the best rapport with the students. The students thought she was kind of mean, and I think she felt that because she had been a substitute teacher for so long, and that I think she felt like she had the craft all figured out. So when she came in to be a student teacher and take over, she wasn't very open to suggestions. And then I would even talk to her professor that would come in to do observations. And, they always meet with a master teacher. So what do you think?
Yep.
How's your student teacher doing? And, I always give things to grow on, things to, to glow about. But yeah, she wasn't very open to that. And anyways, she didn't pass any of the assessments to become a teacher. And it was a whole long process. So unfortunately, I feel like she gave up months and months and months of time as my student teacher, all for naught.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that she even got a job as a teacher. which is unfortunate.
Well, yeah, and all those things that you listed off that weren't her strong suit, those have to be a strong suit for a teacher. Like, if you're not organized, good luck. If the kids don't like you, good luck. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But not everybody's cut out to do it either. That's the thing. Truthfully believe it takes a strong person. When you said you taught kindergarten, I was like, bless you, because I could never.
I didn't think I could either, Kelsey. I was in fifth grade at the time, so I dropped, because our schools are K-5, so I dropped from the top to the bottom. And
that's a big jump.
Exactly. And not even was it like, okay, I'm going to start the new school year as a kinder teacher. This was, weeks into the school year, and we had to. We had too many. What was it? We had too many students, or not enough students. No, we had not enough students, so we had to get rid of a fifth grade classroom because all of our classes were like not small, but we could collapse one of the classes and still fill them up. So we had to collapse a fifth grade classroom, and I don't know, for some reason we had to get rid of a teacher. So based on seniority, the teacher that had been hired the most recently had to leave. Kindergarten teacher, and I had like one of the highest seniority in fifth grade, so I could have left it to a different teacher. But anyways, my principal was like, hey, Brian, do you want to try kindergarten? Yeah, I was rad. So I loved it. The first year, loved kindergarten. Second year, loved kindergarten, and then that last year, third year, totally different.
Rough one.
Oh, it was so rough. I was at the line where I was like, I either have to quit teaching or go to a different grade level. And, thankfully my principal was just like, all right, where you want to go? So that was nice.
Second grade's the best, so.
Well, as it turns out, Kelsey, you're not lying, because second grade is the best. I love it. I love my grade level. I love the kids. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome for sure.
It's a nice age.
They're sweethearts.
Yeah.
They're sweethearts.
I like the things we get to teach them, too. I have fun,
Yeah, the curriculum for second grade's a lot of fun. It's it's nothing like tremendously hard, but it's still pushing the kids forward a little bit, and I like it. And they're a little bit more independent than the kindergartners. Yep. They can, for the most part, they can read at that age. They're not as needy as the kindergartners, but yet they're still young and sweethearts.
Yes, they still love you, and they still love coming to school.
So let's wrap this up, Kelsey. I like that you said take action. How do you think it's important for teachers to take immediate action, or do you think they should think about it before they do something? Like, because it all had to do with fear, right? So you're like, you got to face your fears, take action. What's the best way to take action?
I mean, it's going to depend on what it is we're saying you're taking action towards. If it's a big, huge thing, yes, take some time, think it through, but don't, allow that to let you say no. But if it's like moving to a completely different state, like you need to think that through for a minute, especially as teachers. There's a lot that goes into that, so plan it out. But if it's something as opposed to like getting up and going to the gym in the morning and you're scared to get up and go, but that's something that, take action right now. You can easily do something like that. But I do think no matter what, take the action. If it's going to take you a few steps, you're going to sit through, you're going to plan things out, you're going to think about it, and then you're going to take action towards that, great. If it's something where you say, I'm going to start going to the gym tomorrow, great, but do it, because like we were saying before, you have to take care of you, and if you're not filling up your own cup, you're not filling up the cup of your students, the people in your life, just go for it. Chase your dreams. We all have them. And I do think it's really important for teachers to find something outside of teaching to keep them busy. Like me, I have my website. You have your podcast, and it allows us to kind of make that switch between being in school mode all the time, like be humans and be adults, because we don't get a lot of adult interaction in our day.
I think that's so well said. No, I think that's perfect. That's so well said. Basically, it just comes down to, like you were saying, you got to find something outside of teaching to occupy yourself. It doesn't have to be all about teaching. And, I used to feel guilty for thinking that. I used to think, okay, I'm I'm a bad teacher. Honestly, that's kind of where the name for the podcast came from, is the Lazy Teacher Podcast, is because I think a lot of teachers feel like they're lazy because they're not doing enough, because there's so much you can do for kids. You're never going to hit the end of it. You never will. No matter how much you do, no matter how great you are, you could be the best teacher in the school, the district, the state. You're still going to be self-conscious, because we have a passion and love for kids that we're always going to feel there's more we can do. And I think it comes down to, I think teachers need to find something else besides hyper-focusing on being a teacher to occupy themselves. And, you know, I would love to argue that I think they should put a little bit more focus on themselves. I hate to see this profession become really overweight teachers. And I know I get a lot of crap for that in comments and emails saying that I need to stop saying that, but it's the truth. And I'm only saying it because it's out there, and we're such good people with kind hearts, and we're doing this amazing job for kids, but we're letting ourselves go, and we're becoming these it's stereotypical. Even in cartoons, it's always a fat teacher, and it's a bummer. I think it's sad.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, what teachers really need to keep in mind is we're the role models for these kids. Like, they're looking up to us. A lot of them don't have solid role models at home, you know, and if they see me eating an apple for lunch, a lot of times they're like, oh, I'm going to have an apple tomorrow. Like, I'll never forget one day a kid asked me, what do you eat for lunch every day? And I was like, oh, I actually, you know, have salads, and I just eat that for lunch every day. And they go, I'm going to get a salad tomorrow. You know, it's just like we're impacting their health more than we realize, too, because they're watching us and they're looking up to us. So, you know, especially with childhood obesity being as big of an issue as it is, we just need to show them that it's possible to be healthy.
Yeah, we have to be the role models for these kids, is exactly it. We need to be the example that we want these kids to become. If we're not leading by example, they're just going to see it. I mean, they're already facing enough little issues with, you know, growing up in this current society.
Agreed.
Yeah. So where 100%. To, Kelsey, if people want to check you out, where should they go to? The website, Instagram account, throw all that out for us.
Yeah. So, actually, everywhere that you can reach me is the same name. So, I'm also on Facebook. So, my website, Instagram, Facebook, they're all Adventuring Kelsey, adventuringkelsey.com. And then if you want to email me, just adventuringkelsey@gmail.com. Obviously, pop onto my website and check out that freebie if anyone's interested in learning how to meal prep. Again, going back to being a good example for our kids. So you can find that on the web.
And that's Kelsey, Kelsey.
Yep.
Well, I really appreciate your time, Kelsey. It's been rad talking to you. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, awesome. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later, okay?
Thanks. You too.
Right on, guys. Thanks for checking in with the show. I always appreciate all your support. I still have plenty of stickers available if you guys want one. Shoot me a private message with your address, and I'd be stoked to send you out a sticker. It's pretty cool. I keep getting pictures from fans on where they're putting their stickers, and it's pretty unique. Most people just put it on their laptop, which I think is rad because, I mean, it's like a walking advertisement going around for the show, so I appreciate that very much. A few people have snuck them in some areas around town on signs and windows where, you know, maybe they're not supposed to go, but I didn't put them there. And I always appreciate that support, so it's pretty rad. If you have a laptop with only our show sticker on it, big bonus points for you. I'll give you 100 points if you can send me a picture with that, because that means you've gone full lazy on me and you've gone full dedication to the show, and that's rad. An empty space with only a show sticker, that's definitely worth 100 points right there for you. So yeah, we hit on a little bit of student teaching in this episode. Coming up, possibly the next episode or shortly after that, I have this really cool lady named Ruby that's going to be coming on the show. She is a student teacher in Texas. Super excited to meet up with her and talk. I think that becoming a student teacher is a hard thing. You know, you got to be an intern basically with no pay for close to a year, certainly at least a half a year, depending on what state you're student teaching in. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing her outlook and perspective on student teaching and her aspirations on what she'd like to see in the profession. So that's going to be a pretty awesome show. You could definitely look forward to that. And that's about it, friends. Have yourself a great weekend. Happy Friday if you're checking in on the show on Friday when they come out. Otherwise, whenever you're getting it, there's going to be a Friday around the corner some point. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Relax as much as you possibly can. And fear not, even though the Monday comes around, it goes just as quickly. This is the tail end, guys. I hope you got what you came for. See ya!